scared of dominance of AI. We're scared of singularity. On the contrary, we're bound by the frailties of nature that we need to overcome. Neuralink is a tool of dreams. It's the key to the utopia.
Why not we give a chance to this device that maybe brings somewhat inequality right now, but will do loads and loads of benefits in the future?
Getting alarmingly closer to the definition of singularity, and Elon Musk doesn't want that. He stated that he doesn't, and he's afraid of singularity. That's why, as he creates Neuralink, he wants to turn AI and human.
Our body is automatically repelling them, such as when you do a transplant, your body, they don't recognize that it's your own cell. They will start trying to repel that organ, body parts. This will cause a lot of damage because Neuralink is implanted deep into your brain with 64 tiny threads.
At our debate showcase, this house prefers a world without Neuralinks.
Dear adjudicators and fellow debaters, I am the first speaker of the affirmative team that we advocate for the world without Neuralink, without the potential threats. Now, firstly, I would like to define the motions for us, for we have a clearer visions about these motions. Neuralink basically is a chip implant to human brain to control the devices or devices without move physically, and the motion basically say that it advocate a world without an exceptional threat from AI. Now I would like to move to my first argument, with its ethical concerns. As technology develop with a ridiculous speed, so people they have invented Neuralink, which is an advanced AI that implants in our brain. The chip implants through a surgery that connects to our neuron. They cut the skull and they connect to each neuron that can control our brain, our activities. And can you guys feel how suffer it was? Through a surgery, when you cut your skull, and over days you need to face with the headache every day and every day. How suffer it is, can you imagine? And this chip was invented by Elon Musk, right? So we want to know is any further part, rather than just we can control the device without moving physically. We don't know if there is any control software or something that can control our body. And next, as we know today, AI is so advanced. So if we implant it to our brain, would it be a potential threat to our body? Our identity can also be taken by the cyber theft. And so we are them. We are the theft, or we are AI, or we are Elon Musk. No, we are ourselves. We are we. And the barrier between AI and we is the feelings. So you implant the chips to our brains. That means you're saying that give more power to AI, which is a part that AI are lack of, which is feeling. You are a gift to them. You will give them an opportunity to control us, to go over us. And Musk can aware of that problem, must know and must understand of this problem, but he still continue to with his projects, which raise a really big ethical concerns. Secondly, is the accessibility and the inequality in our social. Imagine if the Neuralink was start to sell, people with really rich, and which the Neuralink must be sold with really expensive. So only people really rich and have a lot of money can buy it. So which create a problem of social inequality. Whereas poor people, they don't have Neuralink. They see they cannot do anything. They see they are just a useless people. And so they will want, they have ambitions. Everyone have ambitions, but why only rich people can have Neuralink, can do what they want, can do everything? It's create a social level inequality. Create two level of people have with Neuralink and people without Neuralink, which can create which can lead to the increase in crime rates. Because people, when they don't have the Neuralink, they want it. What will they do? They can kill people. They can take it. They can do something to take it, but without permissions. So which can create a crime rate with a really big problems. Thanks for listening. I rest my case. Thank you.
Welcome, adjudicators and our beloved teammates and our respective opponents. My name is Max, and today I'm going to be the first speaker for the negative side of the motion. And now, I would like to provide some rebuttals to the first speaker of the opposition team. Now, I would like to ask you one question. How do you feel of instead getting the headache after the surgery for Neuralink and having decades or even centuries of being controlled and losing our freedom over the same algorithm that we created to help our world become better? How would you feel about that? Losing our freedom and having a headache after the surgery that could change people's life? How would you feel about that? Now, from that rebuttals, I would like to lead to some of our team's main points. First of all, we would like to define what singularity is, as in I have stated in my rebuttals. Singularity refers to a theoretical future event at which computer intelligence surpasses the intelligence of human beings. Now, we would like to pose a threat, and that would be also our main points for why the world needs Neuralink. So, firstly, we don't want singularity to happen, as in it would dominate over us and turn us into some kind of tool, like we're doing with it now. One biggest example is that while testing the latest variant of ChatGPT 01 is caught lying, even copying itself, the algorithm itself, from being replaced by a newer version when the developers of the testing company ask us to do a task at all cost. This evidence leads us much closer, it's getting alarmingly closer to the definition of singularity. And Elon Musk doesn't want that. He stated that he doesn't, and he's afraid of singularity. That's why, as he creates Neuralink, he wants to turn AI and human into one, in which it will, firstly, it will help to stop singularity, and number two, it would help to support humans in multiple ways. And one notable example is Nolan Arbroath. He is a disabled person which got paralyzed from neck down from 8 years from 2024 after a car accident. Before the Neuralink implant in January 2024, he needs assistance from a lot of his loved ones, and in which would cause a lot of time, and it could reduce the time that his family goes to work and generate income, in which can help his family sustain a good financial profile. So after the implant of Neuralink, Nolan has the ability to control a cursor to his MacBook from his brain, in which that helped him to do stock exchange and help his family on the financial side, as well as even competing in the chess competition in Paris. As from the example of Nolan, we can see that Neuralink poses a lot of benefits to paralyzed people, and with the fact that singularity of AI has been growing recently, by fusing AI and humans into one, we can help both to improve the life of millions of disabled people around the world, as well as preventing humanity from losing its freedom that it has been establishing for hundreds of thousands of years. And I rest my case.
Good evening, adjudicator, fellow debater. I am the second speaker of the affirmative team. This House prefer a world without Neuralinks. First, I would like to rebut the other team. They have argued that by inserting Neuralink inside the brain, you will not losing your control by being smarter than AI. Well, Neuralink is actually a chip that inside our brain that is controlled by AI. And what do you think? A chip inside our brain can control us better than an AI outside. And next, he also argued that by letting people walking again, they will become better and not be a burden of their family. However, do paralyzed people want this? A CNN interview revealed that paralyzed people actually do not want a chip inside of their brain. They want a research that can help them reduce the nerve pain, which cause pain even if they are now paralyzed. Moving on to my first point, Elon Musk's vision of Neuralink is to be an extra smart computer inside our brain that can connect our nerve to help us become extraordinary genius. Without Neuralink, we are still normal people and we can still evolve like we always do. It is safer and like we should. With this AI, it is unnatural and we are smarter because of AI, not because of us. And not because we are actually smarter. If we don't do the surgery to put Neuralink inside, the worst is that we continue to use ChatGPT. At least we still have to come up with a prompt. We have to think. AI is a tool so that instead of searching 1,000 links on Google, we can now have a short summary tool. Now, if we put the Neuralink inside, we are taking the risk of a surgical that are not done by human but AI. Human doctor only surgically put a hole inside our brain, but AI is the one that connect our nerve. What if this AI make a mistake? The first patient that have Neuralink inside of their brain now have to surgically remove it because the Neuralink wire is contracted. They have to went through two surgical that are very life damage. And additionally, the Neuralink had a battery inside of it, which make from lithium. Which can explode easily, and we charge the battery wirelessly outside of our brain. So what if it do not charge? Then we need to remove it surgically again. And also a case in 2018 of Terax 25, a chemotherapy for cancer patient that are powered by AI. Operator have a problem and start to emit radiation over the normal need, which kill a patient. AI is not safe, so if we put a chip that are powered by AI inside of our brain, we need human to actually control that machine. What if Elon Musk team is corrupted? What if they choose to do something with our brain? We cannot control that because we already have a link that control our nerve. Unfortunate event can happen, and we shouldn't risk our health just to become smart, and we can still be smarter by ourselves without a very risky surgery in our brain. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Và 1 phút chuẩn bị bắt đầu.
Having a disability is like a fire that burns all your dreams and ambitions. And Neuralink is like an extinguisher that ignites that fire again. Now, I am the second speaker from the negative team, here opposing to the motion that this house prefers a world without Neuralink. So first of all, I would like to start with some points of rebuttal. The other team have talked about how the accessibility and the inequality part of Neuralink. However, even though it might not be accessible to everyone right now, it is still bringing equality in some way. For example, people that are disabled, now they can work, now they can function like a normal human can. And one day, when this technology develops, everyone can have access to it now. Because let's look at phones, for example. When it first was invented, it was not accessible for everyone. But now, looking back, almost everyone here has an iPhone or a phone, and nearly everyone is in possession of one and is accessible to one. So why not we give a chance to this device that maybe brings somewhat inequality right now, but will do loads and loads of benefits in the future. Now, they also mentioned about how us humans can be smart on our own, and we don't need Neuralink or AI to help us. However, Neuralink is just like the technology we have used before that have helped us look back to all of the technology that have helped us develop to the humans we are now. Look how much we depend on technology in the current world. So why should we refuse this help? Because it's AI? Why should we refuse this extra help that was given to us, and we just need to accept it? Now, moving on to my argument about how this would be the first steps of healing paralysis. In a physical means, as Neuralink is a life-changing device to be assist to those who are disabled, to bring back the traits or do what they can no longer do when they are disabled, to do what the same thing that people who are not disabled can do, move and communicate easier than they could before. This could bring inclusiveness and help these disabled people regain back what they have lost. For instance, Nolan, the first patient that was implanted with a Neuralink, can now use a laptop and work normally without any difficulty because he was implanted by Neuralink that can help him move a cursor by just thinking about it. Imagine how convenient that was for him. Imagine how he could feel as capable as everyone else around him. Now, to the mentally aspect, inclusiveness to the disabled, because they are feeling like they can't do anything because they are disabled. However, as I have mentioned before, Neuralink can help them change this mindset. It can help them feel as capable as everyone else now. So why should we eliminate this wonderful device without thinking about all of the positive things it can do for a human that may not be as capable as us now? Why should we take back the chance for them to be as capable as us? Are we that selfish of a human being? Now, Neuralink is a second chance to those whose fire have been extinguished. And that is the end of my speech.
The honorable judges and fellow debaters, as I am the third speaker of the affirmative team, and in regard to this topic, I would like to further explain. Now, my speech will be divided into two sections. The first one is my rebuts, and then further explanations. Now, as the negative team has come up with many solutions and many things that you would think that will be very great for disabled people. However, I will prove that they are wrong. Firstly, two speakers have come up with the case of Nolan Arbol. However, they haven't read fully the case of him, because even though now he can control the computers by the chip that is input in his brain, but really approximately 1 month after surgery, our elbow experienced issues when 85% of the implants felt rejected due to unexpected movements. They haven't read carefully his case yet, because there are many threats come from this chip that has made unexpected movements to his body that he doesn't want. I believe that is the wrong strategy of the negative team. Now, furthermore, the speaker of the negative team also claimed about how technologies can improve us, can make people to regain what they have lost. Now, there's a thing. Imagine iPhone 6, 7, or 8 that the speaker have mentioned. We change it every year. For example, iPhone nowadays, we are going to have iPhone 17 in the next year. And with this chip, it's also different every year because technology is advanced. Technology is changing every day, every moment. So here is a question for the negative team to solve. Do we need to get a new chip for every year, every 5 years, or monthly? That is the points for the negative team to cover out to win this debate. Now, I would like to explain more about my team's points as how it could impact on how risk, as because Neuralink is connecting directly to 64 neurons in our bodies with 64 wires connect to our neurons, and even if one wire's gone badly or doesn't function as it used to be, or maybe it's bended, it's contracted, or it break, our health would be significantly impacted. Because brain is a very complex structured our brain is different compared to everyone's. Now, because like compared the younger children brains to the older or to the elder, every brain is different, and applying only one chip for every brain is not a suitable solutions or not a good solutions to help the disabled people. And in the end of my speech, I will come up with a solutions to help disabled people rather than putting a chip in their head. Because the chip is a foreign object to our brain, which can lead to potential complications from bacteria entering our body, which can lead to further infections. So how can we ensure that the chip would work perfectly in our brain? Remember, a chip is a chip, a technology is a technology. We cannot make sure that if it would be alright in our brain, because technologies are just can be used in a short amount of time. For example, your iPhone, maybe you can use it in a short amount of time, or your laptops, or every devices can only be used in a short amount of time. And same with the chip. How can we ensure that the chip will be forever working fine in our brain? And remember that brain surgery takes a long time. So even if there's like an emergency situations or anything happen directly to your brain, it's really hard to solve. As disabled people, implanting Neuralink just put more risk on their health. And I believe that for disabled people, there are many solutions, many other good solutions that can help them rather than trying to inputting the chip in their head. As because the chip is linked directly to our motor cortex, which is one of the things that control our body's movements. Which means this is a key factor to our brain to control ourselves. And after a long time, as I say, this chip needs to be updated. And how can we like take the chip outside our brain again to input a better one? It will take a longer time and putting more risk on the disabled people. Because remember, disabled people, their health is not better like us. Their health is there's something bad happened to them, so which means their health is weaker. So by inputting more risk on their health, I think that is the best solutions from the negative team. Now, coming back to Elon Musk, as the negative team also come up with a solution with the idea that Elon Musk doesn't want singularity. However, I believe that the negative team had do it wrong because the first speaker of the negative team has said that Elon Musk wants to turn AI and human into one. I believe that this is contracting to the first saying about Elon Musk doesn't want singularity, because singularity is actually turning AI to human into one. And I believe that they have used the wrong strategy in this one. They are contracting their sayings. Yes, and come back to Elon Musk, because Elon Musk doesn't want AI to be only for disabled human. They also want for everyone. And I believe that in order to do that, we can create a compassionate world for everyone, including disabled people. Thank you everyone for my.
Neuralink's mission is to change life for the better of humans. Good afternoon, dear adjudicator, ladies and gentlemen, beloved teammates, and respected opposition. I'm the third speaker of the negative team. First, I would like to offer some rebuttals. The third speaker of the affirmative team stated that Nolan didn't want the chip. But what's the after result? He still got the chip and he's learning to embrace the chip in his brain every day. They also stated that even if it will be good, it will be updated. But even though if there's a new technology, even though if something is updated, it doesn't mean the old one will be outdated. It doesn't mean the old one will disappear and people will forget about it. They also stated that how can a chip work perfectly in our brain? But despite some minor difficulties, Nolan has repeated to be perfectly fine. He also has perfect control of his computer and his technology is working perfect. They also stated that if patients want to take it out, the brain surgery will be really hard to solve. But reported by the venturebeat.com, the Neuralinks can be removed in a way that you're still beautiful and happy afterward. So, which means that they won't be hurt afterward, even though if they took the piece of Neuralink out, their brain will perfectly function like normal, except they won't have the ability to walk or function like a normal human again. They also stated that they would pose some better solution, but they didn't pose any better solution for us to consider. They didn't show us any better solution so that we can take in mind and use. Also, singularity is when machine gain consciousness. That is why Elon Musk wanted to merge humans and technology together, not that he wants humans to be replaced by technology. On to my argument. So, preserving humanity by merging the two together. With 87.1% succeed rate, Neuralink will be able to help people who are paralyzed to walk again. Sourced by the NIH.gov. Reported by the Technology University, Neuralink can control patients' exoskeleton and prosthetic that could help restore movement in individuals with paralysis or amputation, which can help them with their family feel like they're connecting again with the ability to walk and do movements. With research by the Blue Badge Insurance, they found out that the main chip can communicate to the spinal cords and allow paralyzed people to walk again. This piece of technology has proven to us and to many cooperation that they can ensure people can walk again. With the first patient, Nolan, successfully implanted, whilst he has faced minor problems, he now has a reason to wake up every morning. He has something that he wants to wake up and see. Before that, he was desperate. He didn't want to wake up. He didn't want to live because he has nothing to live for. He can't walk, he can't move, he can't do anything he wants to. How would you feel when you wake up one day and realize you can't do anything you like? Can't walk, can't move, or worse, knowing that you can't contribute to humanity? Thank you.
Một phút chuẩn bị bắt đầu.
I am the fourth speaker of the affirmative team and also will be the last speaker of the affirmative team. I'm here to compare and give some rebuttals to the opponent's team and prepare my case and a solutions. First off, I want to start with some rebuttal for the opponent's team as they have used some false medical facts for their points, such as how a tiny headache is the only thing that is going to be faced by the patient of Neuralink. That is in fact not. There is many failed attempts on brain surgeries. A headache is not gonna be the only thing. There is many risks to damage to other parts of the brain, some important parts with thinking and vision. And they also stated about Nolan, how he have contributed to his family by stock exchange. But you have to realize that Nolan also have reported that his Neuralink chip string have contracted. And this is why. Our body is built to repel something that does not belong to our body. Our body is automatically repelling them, such as when you do a transplant, your body, they don't recognize that it's your own cell. They will start trying to repel that organ, body parts. This will cause a lot of damage because Neuralink is implanted deep into your brain with 64 tiny threads. Our team also mentioned about AI, how it could be a risk. They also have mentioned this, how AI is a risk, how it already cloned itself after hearing that their old version will be deleted, how they were caught lying. So do you really want that into your brain? Something that will have the mind of its own and control itself, and you have no control over it. It's controlling your brain. We give many examples, such as the machine T-Rex 25. As our second speaker has stated, how AI, one of the machine that closely resemble the machine that use surgeries on the brain for the Neuralink. This machine used for chemotherapy, the AI was programmed perfectly, they said, but it failed. It created a giant dose of radiation onto the patient, killing one patient because of the overdose of radiation. AI is a danger. So do you really want it into your brain? We propose a solution instead of using Neuralink to make people feel included mentally and physically. There's a lot of solution to this. People may feel mentally unstable because they feel like they are not contributing to society or their family. But family, what is family? Family is there for each other. They are to comfort. There's professional therapy to help people. These days, those jobs is now famous because people usually suffer things like this. Instead of putting something into your brain and risking, they even said it, 91%. But how many cases? You may see 91% success rate on this machine surgery, but how many cases are there? Why is it not 100%? If it's 91%, 1 or 2 cases must have failed and the patient must have suffered something. This is still in testing. This technology should not be implanted. Why don't we have a world that everyone accepts a person instead of finding validity? This is why our team stands strong with the motion that we should not have Neuralink in this world. I rest my case.
AI, the new big thing of our world today. It is thriving more than ever. The founder of artificial intelligence, John McCarthy himself, recently left Google for one reason. Word by word, he said, AI is too dangerous. Greetings, honorable judges, fellow debaters, and respected opponents. My name is Ralph, and today, strongly opposing the motion. Firstly, I would like to remind you of the significance that Neuralink will propose us. Neuralink, why we need Neuralink? We fear of being left behind by the ever-growing technology and intelligence of those machines that we fear to be obsolete. We fear that we're left behind. Secondly, we want and we desire to be more improved state of humanity, a state of hyper-intelligence where convenience is optimized, where our thoughts flow like water. That's the grand goal of Neuralink, to overcome the setback of nature, the fertilities of our human biology. Now, with that finished, I would like to offer the other team some rebuttals. The opponent stated about that it will be not inclusive for the population. While it might not be inclusive for some, it is very inclusive for the people with disability. Nextly, the opponent created a faulty syllogism saying that Neuralink might control us. Well, something inside our head will control us, right? However, Neuralink is just a mere tool that augments us on our way of thinking. It is just a mere tool that helps us and extend our capability. Nextly, I'd like to remind you that technology inherently, it doesn't kill us. It is the sloth, the greed, and the bad things of our nature that make us act the wrong way. The solution is not to remove Neuralink, rather we should be taught how to use it the right way. Nextly, I'd like to give you a tour of my whole team's contentions. The first speaker mentioned about the danger of singularity. Imagine a world where we need to kneel down to AI, where we need to serve those machines indoctrinated by them. Would you want that? Second speaker, she mentioned about the benefits of that Neuralink will propose to the disabled people. Neuralink acts as a tool for solace, for catharsis, for purpose. It helps the people with this disability regain the sense of purpose, of being able to contribute to society again. It is reigniting the fire in them. What is seen as insignificant to us is the whole world to those people. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you that our world today is in a state of vulnerability. We're fragile more than ever because on one side, we're scared of the dominance of AI. We're scared of singularity. On the contrary, we're bound by the fertilities of nature that we need to overcome. Neuralink is a tool of dreams. It's the key to the utopia. It's to fulfill our vision. It is to be better and better. Just imagine that. Thank you.
Yeah, cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Thì chúng ta sẽ cùng nhau đến với những lời nhận xét và đánh giá của ban giám khảo. Và đặc biệt là ngày hôm nay chúng ta có bạn David là Trần Gia Phú sẽ là khách mời giám khảo tại cuộc thi quốc tế World Scholars Cup. Thì vòng chung kết tại Đại học Yale của Mỹ, David cùng với đồng đội của mình là Lê Minh Quân đã đạt cúp vàng top 3 thế giới nội dung tranh luận đồng đội. Gia Phú đạt cúp vàng top 5 thế giới nội dung tranh luận cá nhân. Và đây là một trong những bạn học viên rất là nổi bật của TTS Education. Và chúng ta sẽ đến với những lời nhận xét góp ý đầu tiên của giám khảo khách mời bạn David.
Alright, so this is the third time I'm judging, so y'all all familiar with me. Anyway, first of all, I would like to give a little comments because I have watched Rose, Bob, Daisy, Max, and maybe Tracy and Raph. So let's talk about the affirmative team first. Bob, I really seen your improvement, but you're not really improved enough, I would say. Your content is good, your strategy is good, but the way you present, it still shows that you are insecure about your points. Alright? About Rose, your voice really great, your content really great. Again, in terms of pronunciation, sometimes you forget a little bit about your words you're saying. Daisy, well, Daisy again, you still killing it really well. So you're doing really well. And Hugh, a very new face when I judge. For me, you did really well and you have some humorous acts, but I felt like you trying to hit on a point, but you never reach close to it. You hit and then you just leave it there, you know? So it was strong, but not clear enough to me. For the negative team, Max, I expect you to do better because I know your strategy and points really good, but then you keep repeating the mistakes that you did last time that I judged you. So I was kind of upset, but okay, there's more room for improvement. Same goes with Tracy. Tracy, sometimes a little bit stuff about your points. You don't know how to recover it. Sometimes you just bring out a rebuttal, but however, there's some small flaws that you didn't recover it. So it leaves the oppositional team have more points to rebut again. About Camellia, this is the first time I'm judging you. I'm really impressed about how you present and how your voice is very strong. But however, the reason why your team wasn't, because you was almost impressive. But however, the point of yours is actually the same as what Max already said. So you guys are just repeating each other. Would Camellia have more bigger voice? And lastly, Ralph. You're like a philosopher when you going here. You're talking about a lot of philosophical stuff. I love it, but please the next time maybe switch to a little bit more, let's say, scientifical and more technical. Leave the room of philosophical for the emphasis for the last of your sentence. All right, thank you.
I just want to give a comment about the main points of what you guys are saying about this topic. So I really like this topic because I'm planning to setting some Neuralink in the future. So, yeah, of course, there's some high risk about lose my identity, right? That is most of the afraid things to imply this technology to my body. So need to talk. You guys is mainly talking about the risk about our body, and especially for our identity, to losing our identity, right? So it's same as the losing our life. Even if our heart is beating, if we change our identity to the other person or robot, then it means that we lose our life. So yeah, you guys did well for the discussing about the identity, especially for the Bob also mentioned about this one, and Rose and Cami and yeah, Tracy, everybody is talking about the identity. Very good. And then for the other main the issue is the inequality, right? So Cami also giving a very good point, that is the we don't need to focus on now, for the future generation. So same as for the computers also, only rich people could use that computer, but it's for now everybody using that one. So we can imply, and then for at first it's only privileged people can use that one, but in the future all of our humanity can that kinds of get the benefit from that technology. So that kinds of two things is, for the first is risk of this technology, and second is inequality. But why we keep talking about this topic, even if there's so many risks, and then even if there's some the issue about the inequality, because the benefit is too big. That's why we keep talking about this one. So you guys did well about this, the two main point of arguments, not talking about the not very important the argument. So I want to giving some praise to you guys to talking about very important two kinds of the argument. So I just want to say about this, praise about that. Thank you.
Okay, last comments, and then I will also announce our winning team and best speakers, right? Okay, how am I going to do this part? So I agree with what Mr. Victor just told you guys about the content of the debate, okay? Let me use an example. There is a medicine out there if you are diabetic, right? If you're a diabetic, you use an insulin shot that will keep your diabetic symptoms under control. In the United States, they designed a new type of diabetic shot that works 100 times better than the average diabetic insulin shot. The benefit of this is it also helps to reduce your body weight, because most diabetics sadly are quite fat, right? This reduces body weight. But the moment people with Mula discovered that this is the new weight loss thing, the rich people bought up all the diabetic medication to help them lose weight, and they are not even diabetic. Now the real people who are diabetic do not have access to the best quality medicine to treat their illness. This Neuralink most likely is going to take the same argument. Now both teams of you got fixed on one thing. The issue is, how will this influence humanity but all of you run to disabled people who make a very small percentage of the human population, right? Hugh was the one who was able to ask the critically important question about, but did it really improve the life of, what's his name, Nolan? Did it really improve his life? Because technically the only thing he's doing is moving a mouse with his eyes and playing Civilization 6 and Candy Crush. Okay. This is not necessarily a sign of somebody with an improved quality of life, all right? So when you are talking about something like Neuralink, we are talking about a generalized experience for the entire human race, not just disabled people. And what we do is we focus on one group of people, like disabled people, poor people, women, people of a minority or something like that, and then we use them as an example, and it doesn't always work that way, all right? So when it comes to yours, I must honestly agree with David about the improvements I've seen, especially in Daisy. Huge improvements from the last time I heard you debate. Max, here I a little bit disagree with David. I kind of think you did really, really well today. I was very proud of you. I think you were calm, you were in control. Yes, you repeated yourself once, but from where you were the last time, I see improvement, okay? I was quite satisfied. Now, let us have a discussion about the best speaker for the affirmative team. Affirmative team. Where is it? Wait. Now I lost my list. Ah, there we go. It's a tie between two people. And the best two speakers for affirmative team based on score is Hugh and Daisy. All right, best speakers. Congratulations. Then the best speaker for the negative team based on everybody's feedback. Personally, my vote was for Max. I think he did the best, but I agree with everybody else that the best speaker for the negative team was Camelia. Well done. And then the winning team, hang on. Did we decide? One last round, did we decide? All right, okay. So, based on scores, okay, I'm going to give you two scores today. You are winning because of your score, and there's a winner based on good arguments, and I will explain this to you. But based on the scores that we have, the negative team scored a total of 67 points. Not bad. And the affirmative team scored a total of 66 points, which means it was almost a tie, all right? Almost a tie, meaning negative team wins with one score, all right? 1 point. Now, based on simply this, and I'll explain it, rebuttals, by far, the affirmative team was superior, okay? You knew exactly how to rebut much better than the other team, especially Hugh. Now, we discussed this at the end. Hugh, you did this thing where you summarized everything perfectly. Your structure, your logic, it was very well organized. You absolutely destroyed the opponent's teams because you guys kept relying on this Nolan man again and again and again. Whereas the evidence and everything they presented to you, you just kept ignoring it. And all the facts they gave you, saying that Neuralink has some serious issues, look at the problems, there was a reduction in the size of it, he had many other issues, and it was kept quiet by Neuralink. You didn't talk about it, you just kept ignoring it, and you guys called it small problems. And walking around with a headache every day is not a small problem. I will blow my brains out if I have a headache every day of my life, right? But based on diversity and how many different angles you tried, your team wins on this ground alone, okay? So can we have a round of applause for our negative team as the winners for today's debate? Thank you.